Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sib of Tea. I'm Alex, and that is Irene, and we'll be talking
Hi.
about some wedding stuff today.
I love weddings.
I know you do, and so do I.
Well, I've only been to I think 3 weddings altogether. Two
Three
of them I
weddings.
was very young for, and one I was semi-young for.
Well, which
Semi
weddings?
as in mid, early teens. We went to Jimmy's in Wisconsin.
Yep, that's
Um,
yeah.
I went to one with mom on the 4th of July. I don't think you came. It was just me and mom.
No,
And
I
then
didn't go to that wedding.
Thea Betty's flower girl or whatever. We all went. It was all 8 of us.
Oh, okay. And
Connie
then
and Peter or whatever.
Tia Paul and Tia Ashley's
Oh
and
yeah.
Tia Peta and Tia Craig's.
I was very young for those. I don't really remember much.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't. I just remember. I remember Tia Paul's being on a mountain in
Yeah.
the church um overlooking whatever they call the
Was it the
crater or
canyon?
the canyon. That's what it was, not a crater.
Just an alien
um
crater. He's that guy. I'm kidding.
right. Yeah.
No, I remember the scenic view because I remember it was very, very pretty. I remember I was a flower girl in that wedding. It was Casey and
Hmm.
I. He was a ring bearer. And
Right.
I remember I could not walk down the aisle. So my dad came and got me and picked me up. And he
Yes.
walked me
Yeah.
down. It's intimidating though. Making a 3-year-old walk down the aisle, that's I don't understand that. I'd much rather have you and Nick or
You sure I
one
was
of
an
the
usher boy?
cousins walk down the aisle and or Lito go and throw rose petals down the aisle. I think that would be
Oh my
great.
gosh, that'd be hilarious.
I'm telling you, it's iconic.
That's the first time I remember meeting Teal Ape.
We moved back to Illinois, and he was at the pool, and I was like, "Who is this man?" But Teal Paul's wedding, I genuinely only remember walking down the aisle. That was about it. I
Hmm.
don't remember anything else. Tia Pita's, I remember very little about. I remember more the rehearsal and the what do you call it? The a little bit of the reception and more of, or the ceremony and more of the reception.
No,
But even then,
I
it's
remember
very
it pretty
fuzzy.
well.
I don't. I think I was 5.
I
What was it?
remember
2003, 4?
2004, I think. I think it was 2004. Because I remember one of our uncles cutting their foot in the ocean.
I don't remember that.
I do. And then I remember uh, one of our uncles having a boot, and he had the doom buggy. Don't you remember?
Don't, Alex. I really all I
Oh, okay. Or the
remember.
go-kart something, and they drove all the way to the top where another family friend of ours was staying in the honeymoon suite because Tia Pita was staying somewhere else.
Oh, I didn't know. I just remember someone told me that my flower girl dress was different from the junior bridesmaids or whatever the rest of the little girl bridal
Mm.
party was, and I was 5, so I was very confused as to why she was they were telling me that my dress was different but it was the same. I was
Mm.
so confused. I was like, am I not seeing something that everybody else is seeing?
That's funny.
I had a freaking bowl haircut. It was so bad. But
I
my
had a
dress was really
buzz cut.
cute. You guys had
Yeah.
buzz cuts a lot growing up.
Well, it's because
We only knew one style of haircut, and that was to
yeah,
buzz
our
it all
dad only
off.
knew one style, and it's either cut it all off or bowl cut.
Yeah.
And
I also
yeah.
remember our dad carrying me. I think I'd fallen asleep at the reception or somewhere, and he had slipped on a stair, and I remember his back hitting a rock, because it was
What?
they were made of rock, and he slipped.
Oh my gosh. I
And
just
then I
remember
remember,
I remember eating so many freaking dino nuggets at the wedding.
I didn't know they were dino nuggets. That's amazing.
Yeah, they were
Maybe
chicken
you ate
nuggets,
mine.
and I just kept pointing to the plate. I was like, more, more. So when I was a
They
little
brought
fat
you
kid.
more nuggets on
Yeah, I was
command.
so full. I'm pretty sure I puked that night.
That's disgusting. I
Yeah.
hate throw up more than anything. Like, it's so, I don't even want to talk about it. I can't. Anyway, I remember also, I don't know if Nick was mad at me or what,
Mm.
like our younger brother, I don't know if he was mad at me, but he had thrown my shoes down, what is it called? It was like
Was it a chute? Like a chute
no, it
basket?
was outside. It was down like a drain, pretty much. Like a giant, like the ones in the street. The sewer. There we go. And it was in our hotel or wherever it was. And I remember the poor gardeners jumped down and got it. It was very nice of them. They
I
didn't need to
do
do
remember
that.
that. I do
It was
remember that now that
it
you
was
bring it up.
weird. I don't know, maybe he was mad at me. I also remember I had lit a match, but then I had let it go too far and it burned my fingers, so I threw it and I thought I was gonna start a fire because I threw it into the closet.
Jesus, my gosh. We gotta watch out for
What?
you.
I was young. Who left me alone with matches? I feel like that's a mom and poppy slip up. It's not on me.
I feel like that's just a you thing. Like,
Me,
where
you're
were
the
you?
pyromaniac.
I'm not a pyromaniac. Chill
Mom
yourselves
says.
there. No. Yeah, no. I remember the wedding pretty vividly because I remember Teal Craig got thrown into the ocean. Do you
I
remember
don't
that?
remember.
With his keys
I've
and
heard the
all his
story
stuff.
100 times, but
Yeah. His friends threw him in the ocean. They're like, oh, let's throw him in the ocean. And he lost all his stuff. Anyways, you have some Reddit stories for us?
I was gonna say I'm really excited for our sister's wedding that's coming up in like 2 weeks. Not even. I don't even know. I can't count. I'm not gonna count, but close enough. I think it's like 13 or 12 days, something.
Yeah.
Tasted the food for that. The food's gonna be phenomenal. Chicken,
Phenomenal.
I switched my order. It's so good, Alex. It's delicious.
You say that now,
wanted,
you're hyping it up. So now that you're hyping it up, it better be that good when I get there. I'm gonna
it
be
is
disappointed.
though. I mean, I want to be like, can I have like a mini sample of each of the items because they're all so delicious.
Right.
They don't do that allegedly. I think it's a little no, I'm kidding. But, no, I'm excited for that though because it's the first wedding of the cousins. There's a lot of cousins, but that's like the first wedding of the cousins, so it's very exciting. You know, a lot of family is going to be together, and we haven't been all together in I would say 2 or 3 years at least, which is very odd for us because usually it's like every other year that we all try to get together. But I'm really excited for that, and we just had our bachelorette party this weekend. That was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. It was a great time. A lot of penises everywhere. Everybody really loved, we got sperm confetti. I don't know why everyone loved the sperm confetti so much, but it was a huge hit. I should have put like a little bit in everybody's bags, like their gift bags.
That is hilarious.
It's exciting. Anyway, so yes, I do have some Reddit stories. I think we should talk about the one we were talking about though with the dress because that makes my blood boil. Like I will think about it every once in a while and I'm just like I don't know how you can be so disrespectful to somebody else. I mean, I know people can't, but it's so rude regardless. So
well, that's a good one to put up.
Yeah, I don't have that one saved, but I listened to it on the Two Hot Takes podcast because they do a bunch. They exclusively do Reddit stories. Their podcast is really great, and I think they do a really good job. But I know they had a topic. I think it was like, why would people do this? Something, whatever. It was this girl had bought her pretty much her dream dress. The mother-in-law before though had been insisting that she takes her advice on what kind of dress to get and everything and what it should look like, and she's like, I don't want that. That's not what I look for in my dress. But then she invited the mother-in-law to come with her to dress shop. The mother-in-law turned her down though. She gets her dress, fits it to like an altar. It fits her perfectly. Everything's perfect. Then she takes it home and the mother-in-law says she wants to see her dress and she won't go over to the fiance's house to go see her dress. So her fiance, the mother-in-law's son, brings the dress over. The mother-in-law and his sister try on this dress and they ruin it. They break her zipper, they stretch it out, they ruin it, and why are you trying on a dress? And then
this is without the fiance. So this is without the future wife knowing that her future husband took this dress, right?
Right. Yeah. And it's ridiculous because why would you do that? Why wouldn't you be like, no, you can come see the dress or we can send you pictures. You don't need me to bring it to you.
Yeah. I think that's
incredibly rude.
From what I hear, she found out because she went into the room or something.
Yeah, she went home and I guess she was putting something away. And she saw that the dress wasn't there. And so she called him and then he's like, yeah, I took it to my mom's. And he was like, I'll be back soon. But then he was gone for like another hour. He had gone grocery shopping. He brought the dress back and it was under the groceries. Like, well, how are you going to be so disrespectful? Like, dresses are very expensive. Even like a lower end dress can cost you upwards at least $1,000 plus. Put on another $1,200 for alterations. Dresses, unless it fits you perfectly off the rack, which is very, very rare.
Right.
Not very, very rare, but it's not something most people do. And it's just so ridiculous. And he had no regard for her dress, no regard for the money that she had saved to spend on the dress, everything. And then she gets it back and it's ruined. And they're like, oh, you wanted a new dress. You were just creating excuses. No, you guys tried it on, broke the zipper, stretched it out. Why are you trying on her dress? How disrespectful is that? Like, why would you do that? I would never do that to your fiance or to my sister. My sister's dress was hanging in our laundry room for probably about 2 months or something. I never thought to myself, wow, I'm going to try it on for fun. I mean, we're very similar size, but regardless, I never thought, let me try on my sister's wedding dress. That's ridiculous. What I thought was, I can't wait to see her in her wedding dress. And we went to a fitting and I almost cried just seeing her in her wedding dress because she looked so beautiful. So I don't know how you can, they're not in their right mind, but I don't know how you can in your right mind decide, let me do this. Let me piss off my future daughter-in-law. Hopefully not anymore, because the mother-in-law and her fiance were so disrespectful to her. I don't know.
Right.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know. That's something that personally speaking, that's like me taking our sister's future husband's tux, and let's say we were the same size or so, or he was smaller than me, and I stretched it out and ripped it, and I'm like, oh yeah, sorry, like you didn't even want that tux anyways. And usually we rent our tuxes, so it's a little bit different, but like, let's say we wanted to buy our tux, I think that would cause more of a rift between us. And personally speaking, I would not marry into that family.
I wouldn't either. And I think that tuxes in a way aren't the same, because you're right, like you do rent them. But I think now, especially as grooms are getting more involved and we're kind of going away from like the tradition of grooms not being as involved in the wedding, I think that a lot more grooms are having more of an input, and you see different tuxes, different colors. Like, I feel before people would only do different colors just for fun, but now it's, let's do a whole color scheme. Like, what do you want your suit to be, or tux, whichever one you wear, and you can make it fun and you can make it your own, and you're more incorporated into the wedding. So now they are getting more special, just like a wedding dress is. And I think it's just the lack of respect for me.
It's 100%. I would not allow somebody to do that. I mean, if I was that fiance, there's no way I would allow for my mom or sister to even go near it. If they want to go near it, then they should have been there when my fiance went just dress shopping. But that's something that he needs to figure out. It seems like there's more to the story than just that dress, and I'm wondering if there's other stories that had happened prior to just this one. You know what I mean? There has to be more.
Me too. And your fiance, I know she had only taken her mom dress shopping, but even then, I never was like, let me try to go through her stuff, find her dress and try it on. No, she'll show me when she wants to, and she'll tell me a little bit about what it looks like, but she will tell me when she wants to.
Right.
I'm not going to sit here. I asked her and she said, I really want to wait until the wedding. That's fine. That's her choice. But I'm not going to go and like harass her and terrorize her because I chose, and she invited the mother-in-law to come dress shopping. She said, no, that's on you. Don't be rude. You can't, I can't with entitled, sport. Like, it's just so horrible. It's so much. I don't even know.
Yeah, that's a little much.
Much. Like, do you want to marry your son? Do you want to marry your brother? Why are you being so weird? Why would you want to try it on?
I don't think they want to marry their son. I mean, for personally speaking, I don't think that's what it is. I think it was just to be spiteful to her, be like, oh, watch what I can do and look how much control I have in your relationship.
Yeah. I don't know.
It doesn't. I don't think it comes down to that. What is it? The Oedipus complex or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you want to marry
Well, the Oedipus complex usually goes the other way. No. Like it's the son being in love with the mother.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like similar situation, reverse. I don't even know if there's a terminology for that.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on from this because it makes me so mad. I could go on and on. So there's this, am I the asshole for accepting being a groomsman of a wedding? My girlfriend won't be a bridesmaid. I had a roommate back in college, and even after finishing our studies and moving to different cities, we kept in contact. So fast forward a couple of years, we both have girlfriends. He decided to get married and invited me more than a year ago to be the groomsman. They didn't ask my girlfriend to be the bridesmaid, but I didn't think it was weird because neither him nor his bride know her, but she is invited to the marriage. That's weird. I think it should be wedding. And due to COVID restriction, the groomsmen and bridesmaids wouldn't even enter together. My girlfriend seemed totally okay with it. I'm sorry, this person has some grammar issues and like the editor in me is coming a little psycho. Okay with it at the time. Due to COVID again, the marriage got delayed a couple of times. It was supposed to be last year and is only a month from now. It seems the restrictions are lower, so maybe the groomsmen and bridesmaids will enter together. But is it so bad walking together for like 20 seconds with a woman I don't even know? So now, just 1 month from the marriage, my girlfriend has problems with it. That's maybe, sorry, again, it's the grammar for me. That may be my friend saw no problem inviting only me to be a groomsman was a sign that I didn't show that I was serious with her. 1 month ago, she bought a dress to go to the wedding and now she doesn't want to go. What does she expect me to do? To drop on my promise? After 1 year, I could tell him. After 1 year that I could tell him I wouldn't manage, I can't tell him just 1 month from the date to go find another groomsman. So pretty much he's saying that his girlfriend's mad that she's not in the wedding, even though the bride and groom don't know her.
I think that's perfectly okay, in my opinion.
That she's mad or that he's...
No, that they didn't invite her to be a bridesmaid. Like, if I'm not gonna randomly choose somebody who I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think as a groomsman, personally, you have a duty to be there for your friend. If you guys were friends in college, that's kind of a big thing because like a lot of people go through a lot of stuff in college, and I feel like they probably went through a lot and they got really close and know each other well. And so in order for the girlfriend to say something 1 month before seems petty.
Yeah.
I think so.
When he was talking about it, it seemed as if he was saying she was mad that he would be walking with another bridesmaid. That seems like...
But why does that? Why does that even matter?
It seems like a control jealousy issue, and it seems that she doesn't feel comfortable with it, and she doesn't know how to express it, so it comes off as, I'm not a part of the wedding, so you're
I mean,
like,
that
that's
makes
so
sense.
rude.
Hmm.
I mean, it's just, I think that you don't know the bride or groom. I don't think that's fair for you to expect to be in the wedding. I don't know if that is normal in some cultures, but I don't
Yeah,
feel we're Americans, so I don't feel like that's very normalized in our culture
yeah,
because, you know, there people are different. You're not going to be in everybody's wedding.
yeah,
Sorry, especially if you don't know the person. I wouldn't want someone on a day that's very special to me, that holds a lot of meaning, to be, especially usually in a place of worship, to be up there at the altar with me as I join in union with my partner. I think
right.
that's just not fair. It's kind of like a baptism in my opinion. It's a very sacred thing, especially, not that anyone looks for divorce, but most people would like to marry once. So I
Right.
feel that it's just, I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
she's wrong and
Yeah. Oh,
he's not doing anything wrong.
yeah, I agree. I mean, she might feel salty at first, like, oh, I've only been dating him. They've been only dating for a year or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fears.
So maybe she's feeling like, oh, maybe there's another bridesmaid that really likes him.
Maybe. But it doesn't
And
seem that way. It just
she
seems,
found out.
yeah. Well, she was
Highly
fine with
unlikely.
them still being in the same room, but you have no right to be a part of the wedding. I just don't think that's fair.
She needs to she needs to take a chill pill, I think.
She really does. I just don't think it's right. I don't know. But I don't, because, people go to weddings as a plus one. They
Right.
don't always go as like a guest of the bride or groom or
Right.
a bridesmaid, groomsman,
Hmm.
whatever.
Right.
It's just how it is. Get over it.
Yeah.
You
No,
know
I
what? They
agree.
could have been like I know the royals follow this rule for weddings. They usually, I just know because they say it's no ring, no bring. So I think that, I can't remember, either Beatrice or Eugenie when they got married. I think it was Eugenie, though. She had gotten married and Meghan Markle was dating Prince Harry at the time. They weren't officially engaged.
Hmm.
Um, and so she couldn't go to the ceremony. She could only go to the reception because she was not a part of the family in any type of way. So they said, you're not allowed to come. And some people do that based on like restrictions for the venues, or just a personal preference, like this whole, I don't want to bring a kid, like I don't want a kids at my wedding.
Right.
So it's more about preference, but they could have easily cut her off and been like, you don't have a ring on your finger, you're not coming. Goodbye.
That's so true. Yeah, they could have been like cutting costs. It's COVID. We're not inviting anybody unless they're family or part of the party.
Right. And it sounds like they
Groomsmen and
pushed
bride.
the wedding 3 or 4 times, even
Right.
because of COVID. And I was reading
Right.
through the comments. The man says he's from Brazil. And excuse me, I don't know how bad COVID is in South America. I know it was pretty bad for a while. I don't know
Right.
anything now or even at the time of this post, but it could be pushed again, and I'm sure they just want to get married at this point and just have it. And you're
Hmm.
going to throw in another complication. You don't think it's already been hard enough on them with
Oh
all
yeah.
these changes with the panoramic going on? Are you kidding me? It
Yeah.
just makes me mad. Don't I hate when people are selfish, because it's not about you. Surprisingly
Right.
enough, the world doesn't revolve around you. Believe it or
Exactly.
not.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just
They.
I
Yeah.
don't like when people are selfish. Sorry, what were you saying?
That's no. That's just annoying. I mean, it's
Yeah,
annoying. That's all. I
it
don't know.
is. Like, I'm sure if you had a groomsman and
Hmm.
it was your friend, I'm thinking of, like, I'm just throwing out Justin just because he's the first person I thought of. And I think he has a girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were like, okay, Alexia, I don't even know, your fiance, sorry. Your fiance, I don't even know if she knows his girlfriend. I don't think it's fair for her to be forced to put her in her wedding.
Yeah.
That would be ridiculous. You would never ask that of her, and nor
Yeah.
should you. Unless
Yeah.
to me, it would be a little different. Let's say this was his sister, and this was like his brother, and she was marrying into the family. I could see how some cultures be like, would say, maybe you have to have the sisters as your bridesmaids and the brothers as your groomsmen.
Right,
But
right.
even then, I think that's pushing it a little bit.
Right. Yeah, it just depends on who you're talking to, I guess. Everybody's going to have a different opinion about it. Doesn't matter what you say.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it comes down to the bride and groom and what they want and what they're paying for. And that's basically what it comes down to. So if you don't like it, as we like to say, SOL.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
So am I the asshole supposedly I ruined a wedding? Hi everyone, I need some input because I feel very conflicted. This weekend my cousin got married and unknowingly my mom states that I ruined the wedding and that her side of the family will no longer be speaking to us. That's a little dramatic. Anyway.
Yeah, that's already dramatic.
She better have done something really wrong for this to be the case. I'm just saying, she better have slapped someone for a good reason. Anyway, for context, my marital cousin, I think she meant maternal, cousin B got married this weekend. We're not close with this side of the family because my mom and aunt get into large arguments that result in them going no contact for long periods of time. A year ago, my grandmother died and they rekindled. So we'll start off at the wedding. We were all excited. Sorry, she put my and I'm very confused. We were all excited, and after the ceremony, we talked with my cousin Kat. She invited my sister and I to the after party, and we said we'd think about it. Then she candidly remarked, Look around at all the boys. Which one do you want? We laughed. At dinner, my parents asked if we were going to the after party. I made a bad joke and fully realized it now. Said, yeah, so Kat can prostitute us off. My dad and sister said, come on, and laughed, but my mom became visually upset and tearful. She confronted me, stating that she was upset. I understood and said, I'm sorry. It was a joke and not a good one. She stormed off. I honestly did not think about this conversation the rest of the night. Throughout the evening, my sister and I noticed Kat was gone and my dad and mom had left, and my maternal side of the family was just really absent. We wondered where they were, but assumed they were mingling. My sister and I left shortly after. The next morning, my mom stormed in and saying I was the reason her only living sister is no longer speaking to her, and I ruined the wedding. I, in shock, asked, what had I done? I really only talked to my sister all night. She said that she did not believe my prostitution comment was a joke, and she told both my aunt and my cousin what I had said. This is ridiculous, man. Some people. I had asked, why on earth would she do that? And relayed that it was a joke. She then stated that the reason my cousin left the wedding and had a huge fight, stated I was the reason my cousin had left the wedding and had a huge fight between her and her sister's family ensued. I was so confused. I wonder why, if this was so blown out of context, they didn't come to tell me to clear the air or ask me to leave. All of those would have been appropriate responses. I don't know why my mom would tell them my joke, but I feel like something else is going on to bring out that reaction. I honestly do not feel like I ruined the wedding, though I am sorry I made that joke. I made ruin people who were never supposed to hear it.
May have ruined people. Yeah, I don't know.
Ruined the night for people who weren't supposed to hear it. My cousin blocked my sister and I don't know if I should reach out. Did I ruin the wedding? Am I the asshole?
That's interesting. Because I mean, if you had beef prior, and then I think this joke just kind of set it off.
But the beef was between the mom and the sister, not between the cousins.
Right. But usually that beef kind of goes down the chain. Like if two parents are not, or let's say, okay, the sister in this instance, the sister and the mom aren't getting along, it's going to fall down onto the kids because they're going to hear the back talk of, oh, your aunt's like this, or oh, your aunt is like this. And eventually it festers up, not only within the family now, or between the two aunts, but now within the children, and now the children are going at it. Whether or not was it a I don't know. I take it with a grain of salt. I don't think her comment really pushed it to the edge. I think it was more, there's more to the story than just this.
Yeah, I think it was, so the cousin had said, like, pick whichever boy you want earlier in the night. So I think that cousin is the mom's sister's daughter.
Yeah,
so
which
I
makes
wonder
sense.
if she got mad at the fact that her daughter had made a comment and the mom stormed to the aunt and said that, and then that's how the fight started. So, but I think that the mom going and, fine, you're upset, you're like, hey, be more appropriate at a wedding or
Yeah,
just at a family event. Don't say that stuff in front of me. I don't appreciate it. Fine, you want to tell your kid how you feel. That's totally fair. You're entitled to that. But don't then go and start unnecessary drama, because you didn't need to start that fight with your sister. You didn't need to start that fight amongst the cousins. You didn't need to start that fight with everybody. She didn't
right.
ruin a wedding because she made a joke at a table with her family.
No,
You're just mad about the joke, or you want to pick a fight. You sound like you want to pick a fight.
Yeah, it sounds like she was waiting for the right opportunity in order for this to go off, and sometimes you just say the wrong thing and it lights a fire under the bud, and this is what happened.
Well, it's just, don't start things that, one, you can't finish, two, are unnecessary. Again, it's just, there was no reason to bring this up and potentially ruin a wedding. I think the mom ruined the wedding. I don't think the daughter did anything wrong. She made a harmless joke. It's not like she got on the mic and said it.
So after she said, okay, cousin 1, cousin 2, this is how we're doing it. Cousin 1 said, wow, pick a boy. Cousin 2 eventually made a comment later on in the night saying, oh, she's trying to prostitute us off as a joke.
Yes.
Okay. And then cousin 1,
the mom got upset about that and stormed off. And then cousin 1, I guess, left the wedding, or left the area they were in.
Cousin 1's mom got pissed off, or was it cousin 2's mom that got pissed off?
Cousin 2's mom got pissed off. Cousin 1's mom, like, is the one hosting, I'm assuming, the wedding, and she had started a fight. The cousin 2's mom started a fight with cousin 1's mom, and I think it was because she, like, her daughter had said earlier in the night that she, like, her daughter could pick a boy, and then her daughter had made the comment, oh, she's gonna prostitute us off.
Gotcha.
It's fine. It was I don't even think it was a poor joke. I think it's kind of funny, but
yeah, I thought it was a funny joke.
Okay,
not that I like support. Yeah, exactly. Not that I support that stuff, but I think it's kind of funny.
Hey, people get paid how they get paid. You do you, just be safe. That's my. I don't care. Be safe about it.
That's just weird.
But point being, she's not the asshole. You want to ruin a wedding? Go up and make a scene. Go take a shit on the floor. Ruin the wedding. But making a joke that no one heard is not ruining the wedding. If she got up there and she said something about the bride and how the bride acted before, and the bride was pissed off, different story. That's not.
Oh, 100%. 100% different story. Yeah. No, I agree. That's just stupid. Yeah. Honestly. It's a petty argument that's been going on between the two aunts, and now it's between the two cousins, and now it's just bringing out family frustration and whatnot, and it just doesn't need to be there. Right.
It seems like you don't want to talk to your only living sister, and you're finding an excuse to not talk to her. That seems like a personal problem. If your sister's gonna get mad over stupid jokes, maybe
Irene's out here getting
both
heated.
Have a bad sense of humor. But
get him, Reed dog.
I'm just saying, you can't sit here. I understand, older generations don't appreciate certain things that younger generations talk about so openly. Fine, you're set in your ways, allegedly. I still believe people can change if they want to, but
change is hard.
That change is hard. I'm not saying it's easy, but when you want to change, you will change. That's why for addicts and for people who are overweight, or for people who want change, any type of change in their life, they will make the change that they want. But until they want it,
change.org.
Change.org. Donate to my GoFundMe. But I just think that you know, they don't find this humor funny. That's not something they like. The dad clearly thought it was funny, but
Yeah.
the mom just, I probably felt like
Clearly,
it was inappropriate or felt like she wanted to pick a fight.
yeah, clearly someone has a sense of humor in that family. It's the daughter and the dad. So I'm glad.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's whack. Anyway, maybe one more story for tonight.
Yeah, one more story.
Yeah. This is kind of long. Right.
I'm so thirsty. I don't know why. I drank like 10 water bottles today.
It's because I'm on camera, huh? Sorry, okay. Would I be the asshole if I sat my fiance's family at their own table for our wedding? I, 32 female, am getting married in December and finalizing the table chart. My fiance, 35 male, and I are untraditional. Parentheses, I'm not taking his last name. Nobody is giving me away. I have men in my lineup and he has women. I am not wearing white, etc. Weddings are not really our thing, and we mainly do things because we know how much it means to our families. Our families are very different. His parents are together, and their family is extremely non-inclusive to outsiders. They are not thrilled about our match and have made it known to him. They have offered no help in planning or participation, and even less interest in getting to know me or my family. I find them very combative, dramatic people, and I openly admit to trying to keep my distance from them. My fiance acknowledges their behavior and understands why I steer clear whenever appropriate. And I applaud that because it's not easy to recognize your toxicity in your own family. And setting boundaries are very, very important. My parents are divorced, and somehow that's led to a huge evolving dynamic and friendly family. My family was very interested to get to know his, but that was shot down fairly quickly. Nobody really tries anymore. I think everyone is comfortable with that after so long. As I've said, we're not really wedding people, and we're not familiar with all the important wedding traditions. I was told recently that I'm supposed to have a wedding party table, in which in our case would include a mix of our family members who have only met a few times with no real spark. We are also having a kids table because there are a bunch of nieces and nephews coming along that are old enough to sit on their own, which I think is fair, Let the cousins get together, because I feel like that's how we do it in our family, regardless.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that.
I had planned on putting his family together at one table because A, I think it would be more comfortable not being forced to socialize outside of their sphere. And B, I don't want to force their company on my own family since they've proven so difficult in the past. This would be leaving my fiance's niece at the table I had planned for his wedding. I don't think her parents would be comfortable without her at the table anyway, instead of putting her with the other kids. This is the one I am most worried about. She is a nice girl, and I'm sure she'd have fun with the other kids, but I've seen her with her parents, or I've seen her parents with her, and I can 100% imagine them making a scene when they arrive to find her name at a different table than theirs. I've heard that I'd been bucking tradition, insulting them by not providing a full wedding party table, and I've heard from others that I should do whatever makes everyone so most comfortable. Tradition be damned. I'm sure no matter what I do, they will be disapprove. Would I be the asshole if I sat them all together at the wedding?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I think it goes back to what I think I said this earlier. Whoever is paying for it gets to do the seating chart. And if it's going to cost less trouble, making it more comfortable for everybody else, might as well just make it comfortable for everybody else. And if anything, the cousin can get up and go. They can scoot another chair at that table.
Yeah, I just think she doesn't want her to feel left out, or feel forced to sit with her. We don't know how the parents act. They could be like, no, you're not allowed to go over there.
Yeah. I mean, you could straight up ask her too. Just say, hey, what do you prefer? Do you prefer sitting with your parents, or do you want to sit with the other kids? Yeah. Because as cousins, we had so many cousins growing up. We have 14 first cousins, right? Yeah, 14. No, 16 first cousins. If you count mom and papa's side.
Oh yeah, I count them both together.
So when we would get together for holidays, all the cousins would just mingle together at one table. We call it the kids table. Now we're adults at this point. It's just the
Still a
younger
kids table.
adults. It's still the kids table, but you know what I mean? It's, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I get
might,
it. I mean, sorry, go ahead.
no, I would like to sit with my cousins, and I would like to sit because they're way more fun. Plus, we can say what we want to say and enjoy ourselves while the adults are enjoying themselves at another table. Then at the end of the night, everybody's going to be together on the dance floor, or adults will come to our table, we'll go to their table, we'll mingle with them as well.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think she's being an asshole by saying, you know, let me do what I want, let me do what's best for everybody, especially since they've been so cold towards her family.
Right.
Excuse me, and even her. I don't think you want to ruin your wedding experience. And something our dad has said, I know, to our sister, and I don't know if he said it to you, but he said, do what makes you happy and don't worry about anybody else. And I don't blame him because, you know, you're not going to please everybody. Everybody wants something different. And that's why everybody's wedding, even though there are a lot of similarities, everybody's wedding is a little bit different. Everybody has their own flair. Everybody has whatever they want. And so you can't please everybody. No matter what, there's always going to be somebody who has something to say, just because that's human nature and that's how people are. And someone always has to say something for whatever reason. I also think I would like to sit with my cousins, but she probably doesn't want a scene at her wedding, and it's already bad enough that they're being such jerks to her. So I understand where she's coming from.
Yeah,
she's not an asshole.
Yeah, I don't think she's an asshole. I think the families are being assholes about the whole situation, but that's a different story.
And it sounds like it's mainly his family, because it sounds like her family very much wants to try to get along with them, or at least meet them and interact with them, which I don't think is unfair. This person is going to be a part of their life. This person is going to be going to whatever holidays they celebrate, or birthdays, or important events just throughout life. So I just think it's only fair to want to meet them. And if these people have kids, you know, you have to, you're tied. There's no stronger tie than a child. Blood, allegedly. I don't know.
The hard thing about that is, any relationship is difficult, because you're not only marrying that significant other, you're marrying their family too. So if you don't like their parents, or if you don't like their family, you have to think about that, because that's something you're going to take with you for your entire life.
Oh yeah. Is that something you can bear? Is that something you can mentally handle for, let's say you spend Christmas with them, or Christmas Eve? Is that something you can do for, in theory, the rest of your life? If you get divorced, you get divorced, but it's once a year for however many hours or however many weekends. It's a lot of time, and it can very much damage you mentally. So it's just a matter of if you're prepared to put up with it.
It's not I don't know, it's just, you want to make sure, you know, you're happy with your wife or husband or whoever you marry, and sometimes you just have to learn to be cordial. We know how it is with some family members, where, you know, you guys may get into a quarrel, but at the end of the day, you guys love each other. You guys are family, and you have to make up at the end of the night. It's just like, you know, regardless, we have difference of opinions. You're my family. I still love you. We're still blood. And sometimes other individuals, I'm not saying in our family or just in general, people just don't get along. It happens. You don't get along with everybody, and that's okay. Not everybody's going to like you. You just have to deal with it.
Not everybody's going to like you. It's a matter of, you don't have to be rude to someone even if you don't like them. I mean, if they did something horrible to you, but if you guys just don't get along, it doesn't mean you have to sit there and be rude to them or anything. But I think that's when people, they're like, oh, I don't like this person, so I have to be rude. For what reason, though? If they're not being mean to you, they're not being mean to you, there's no reason.
What does that even mean? What is that? So where do you take cordial? I honestly think it's just saying hello, goodbye, and that's pretty much it. Hey, how are
Well,
you?
I think
Good. Okay.
right. I think it can go for depending, if you sit together every once in a while, just ask them how their life is. You don't need to sit there and just like glare at them the whole time over like a dinner. But you can ask them
Yeah.
how they're doing, if they're in school, how's school going, how's work going, how's life. You don't need to get into a super deep conversation, but who knows? One, a relationship could stem just from something simple being like, oh, like what are you doing this weekend or next weekend or how's school going. But I'm just
Right.
saying, not even to force things, but it doesn't kill you to be nice to another person, believe it or
Right.
not. What? Some people really think it's gonna kill them. Why?
Because it
If
takes
someone was mean
energy.
to you and insulted you, different story. But if someone hasn't done anything to you and your personalities just don't jive, no reason to sit there and be rude.
Yeah.
That's just me though.
I feel a lot of passion coming from you for that.
And what about it? Bite me.
This is why we're middle
Bring the
children.
heat. Yeah. hey, your Aries ass is much more fired up than I am on 90% of things.
Clearly, I'm fired up right now.
Oh yeah, totally. All engines revving, right?
Absolutely. What are you? What's your?
I'm a Pisces and a
Okay.
Pisces and a Gemini moon. We can have a whole episode on astrology.
What the heck does that even mean?
We can get into it on another episode, Alex. We'll bring Christina and that other Irene on.
Oh Jesus.
That'll be fun. Your girlfriend's a Virgo. Or fiance. Fiance, she's your fiance. Sorry. Reflex to say girlfriend. I still call Christina's fiance her boyfriend.
Yeah.
I'm like your boy fiance.
Boy.
That's it.
Wife fancy. Boy fancy.
Wait.
No, it would be boy fancy.
Girl-ance. Like
girl
Beyonce, but girl-ance. And then she'll be your wife-ance.
Wife-ance.
One
Good
day.
transition.
I'm gonna get their t-shirt that says wife-ance.
Oh gosh. She's gonna be like, what is this?
She's gonna love it. And she'll wear it to the gym, Alex. Okay. Or when she walks.
She'll go shop when she goes shopping, she'll wear it.
Yeah. When she walks Bentley around the neighborhood.
Oh gosh.
Bentley is her family's dog, but not just a car walking around the neighborhood. One of the kid cars. She's just like pushing that along the street.
Oh my gosh, with this little bowl.
Why do I want one? I feel like I was deprived of having one of those stupid cars. The electric one.
We didn't have the electric one, but we had the
one you had to
one.
Power yourself.
We had the two-legged child-powered car. That's what we had.
Okay, that was actually pretty cool. That was, I don't know. It felt different to move in that than it did to walk. Like I don't know, because you were rolling on all four wheels and you were just.
Yes. Yeah, and it's like, but once you got too big, you got really sad because you're like, you're just like smushing in there. The next person had to take it over. It's such a sad day.
Got rid of it. That's really sad. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you all have a wonderful week. Stay hydrated. Be your best you. Get some rest. This is Irene.
Bye, guys. Thank you. This is Alex. We really appreciate you listening in on us and listening to our conversations. Next week, what's for next week, Irene?
What
we decided?
What did we say? Either spooky or what is it? Childhood, like California.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try to do a spooky themed one. Halloween is coming up, so that would be an exciting one to do. So thank you guys. Thank you very much for listening, and tune in on Sib-a-tea episode 3 next time. Thank you.